Hello everyone, Granite Roots. I'm actually back in PvP for the first time in probably a year, not including the PvP push I did about a month or so ago. I'm making this video in response to someone had a question about what to use in PvP for the Condi Ambush Mirage. So I recorded the fight. This is my first time, and actually the fact I haven't done this in a while, how well I think I did, proves how well this build is in this setting. I'll go over the build at the end. So if you just don't care about this part, whatever, you can fast forward to the end. But if you want to see the builds, you know, if you want to see the fight too, see how I did and see how this build performs, it's pretty good. There's one change I'd make, which we'll talk about in the build at the end. But for now, just sit back and enjoy me kind of reacquainting myself to how the fights go in PvP, structured versus world roaming. There is a difference, and feel free to tear me apart how I didn't do much node capping other than central. Through this, I do lose a fight in here, and I know why, and I think that's partly why I made the change, and you'll see that when it comes. It was to a Reaper who played very well. I just ran out of evades, and we'll talk about that at the end. Cool part here is I'm able to res my boy, use a little distortion. Then I'll get out of here. This heal skill for this worked very well for me because a lot of people with range and stuff, again, this specific or particular heal skill reflects projectiles while you're healing, while it's channeling. So that was kind of nice. I'm come up here to try to protect my boy, but he made it, and we're just going to finish putting these guys down. Also, the ability to stealth and port around for stun breaks and just getting out of situations like that was awesome. The low cooldown on this heal skill is also really nice. See that stun break there, that action, get out of there. He's locked on me for a bit. Got better with using my heals more, which I'm going to drop in a second. There we go. And I didn't have any ports left, otherwise I would have grabbed that scrapper. Oh well. They were on cooldown. Such is the game. And I figured too, with clones, I might be better off at trying to hold mid while my peeps are going their power so they can go grab some of that stuff. And I'm kind of looking up to the left like, there's nobody coming, I should go get that. And then somebody grabbed our home node. So, back to the center I go. And that's a Necro that I lost a fight to later on. He is very good at using his shroud, being in and out as needed. Okay, I was trying to get back to the middle to see if I could slow the capping, but not. So, toast. So when I said I died once, if I said that, I just meant in a kind of a 1v1 setting. That was more of like a group gank, which is part of the series. So yes, I did die there as well. I would say probably Power Mesmer might be better in this because a lot of people do bring Condi Cleanse, but you'll see I got a lot more people down. I think again with that relic change I'm going to talk about at the end, it'll be fine because even though they stealth or go invisible and move, that Condi tick still happens. There we go, boom, knocked him down. I'm going to stay in cap. and just finish this guy off with auto attacks. Although if I was smart, I might have just waited and just kind of let him tick down, see if he heals up. That would have kept him out of play longer. It's been a while since I played, so like I said, it's my first time in probably over a year, other than the PvP push. Doing this is going to try and res him, but too little, too late. I gotta make a hasty retreat, like 3 dudes over there, so let's clear the road a little bit. Stun breaks are good. Scrappers all getting up in my grill. Got a homeboy come down and help. Now throw some Condi on him. Beautiful. So the mobility and stealth has definitely been a big asset in this fight. I'm going to cap. Although this was all for nothing, I should have gone down to where they're fighting over stillness, but again, it's been a while. Feel free to shred me in the comments. Last time I think I played this map was like 3 years ago. See, I went down there too little too late, they ended up capping. My bad. Oh no, this is gonna be a super close game. It comes down to like literally like 1 point. So I'd still say this was a very good game. And everybody did well, both sides. Okay, I pulled some guys off, so hopefully we can cap that node, although he's going back down. Here's where I figured I'd try and saw my guy down out there, see if I get there in time. And I couldn't, so then I'm fighting this dude. It's the Reaper. My stuff's already on cooldown. So I created some space. This guy hits pretty hard. Stealthed. Again, create some space. Try and wait for my cooldowns to come back. So that worm does some damage too. I took some damage from that thing. So I should have stacked on the worm and then just did damage there. Don't know how I kept getting revealed though. I had him close, this was close, but he was able to hop, cleanse, and go back into Reaper Shroud, was off cooldown, and that's where I lost it. I think if I had an extra evade or two, I'd have been fine, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, you know? Some, you win some, you lose some. Thanks to my man for at least trying. But at that point, I was, in fact, a liability. Alright, back to the center I go. That's cool, so I'm going to see what my friends are doing. Maybe they're playing on Steam, I don't know. Nope, they're up here fighting all these guys. And Condi bursts are still viable. Although I think power is probably a better mode for PvP because everybody's running cleanse. Nope, didn't quite have him. Let's get this guy over here. There's such a mishmash of people when I first knocked this guy down there or followed him down there. I thought it was the Necro at first, so I used the Distort to make sure he couldn't fear me off the shelf. Okay, now we get some more mayhem. It's kind of weird though. The first part of the fight I'm kind of doing little bits, but I noticed near the end I'm getting better bursts on these guys. Not that I'm the only one hitting them, but I noticed my damage combos were better. You can see them, you know, hemorrhaging health there. But look at the score. So close. Okay, it was by 4 points. I thought it was 1. My bad. So yeah, still a close game. Anyway, let's talk build real quick. So the traits are the same as the other one, but for Amulet, the closest I got to that I thought was okay, I used Carrion because you want Vitality and Condition damage, so that helped. The Relic I used, I left the Relic of Rivers on there, which gets Alacrity and Regeneration of your dodge roll. However, Relic of Evasion, you not only get the Vigor, which helps as part of the build, and you get the plus 10 condition damage, which is also part of that, so I swapped to that now, and next time that's what I would use. And of course I used Ruin of the Traveler, Sigils of Energy, and Cleansing on both weapon sets. And that is about it. So hopefully this helps my friend that had the question. Hopefully I performed well. I think I did, but you never know. I've done this in a while. Either way, thank you for watching, and have a most excellent day.